So today we're going to talk about when you have death in the family and you have some real estate property for them to sell or to sell for them, and what to do. It definitely takes a great title company that will help and guide you through that process. And I do work with a great title company, Truly Title, that gives us all the steps for us to get through the process. It can be emotional, it can be tiring, but having a good realtor and a great title company to guide you through it is super important. The first questions that I ask whenever you're getting ready to sell a deceased person's estate is, did they have a will? That's super important. If they had a will, you might want to consider getting that will probated. If there's not really a whole lot that the person owned and you're like, well, I really don't want to spend that money to get the will probated, then we can do what's called an affidavit of heirship. So he has two children, and then you have one child together, and then you had two other children. So you want to fill out the affidavit of heirship and put all the heirs of the property on there. You also have to have two witnesses that are not related, that have known each you and your husband for at least 10 years to witness the affidavit of heirship. And then from there, the title company will create the documents for us in order to let us know who needs to sign to sell the property, and then who is entitled to a percentage of the proceeds. If you choose to get the will probated, that's a little bit easier, but it's a little bit more costly. And then the attorneys will determine who is the executor and who can make all of the decisions for everyone that's entitled to a portion of the proceeds of the property. So definitely consider those two options whenever you lose a loved one and you're having to take care of their estate. It's super important to have all the ducks in a row. So if you don't have your ducks in a row, I think that you should consider at least doing a will. It's not that expensive, and then have it filed and kept in a safe place. Let's talk about divorces. So that is something that happens in our world today, unfortunately. And so you don't know exactly what to do when you're filing for a divorce, especially when there's real estate assets involved. It is so important to have it all lined out in there of what needs to happen. So let's say that you, the husband, are going to keep the property and the wife is going to buy a different property. Texas is a community property state. Remember that. You cannot sell or buy property in the state of Texas as a married couple without the other one signing at least a deed of trust. With that being said, so you want to keep the property, husband, and the wife is being removed from the property. She isn't actually removed from the loan, but you guys can put in the divorce decree to say you have 2 years to refinance this property into your own name and remove the other spouse. It's important to put that in there because at the end of the day, the second spouse may not be able to purchase a property because they also have that debt in their name as well. And so I think that whenever you are filing for a divorce, to protect yourself, whether you're the husband or the wife, it doesn't matter. But if someone's going to keep the home and not sell it and get the proceeds, then you need to find a way to get your name off of that and removing it off the loan portion. You can be removed from the deed, but you need to be removed off the loan portion. Super important. It will hinder on your debt to income ratio because you are still going to be responsible for that payment because your name is on the loan, even though you're divorced and you're no longer together. Unfortunately, death and divorce do happen, and it's something that we don't talk about much in real estate, but I think it's important to have a realtor that has been through the process many a times to guide you through this step. And that is definitely where I'm an expert at, in having experience with, unfortunately, people who have had loved ones died and had to take care of the estates, and also divorced couples who no longer want to continue doing life together and have to help them through the process. And your local realtor is an expert, and so let everyone know that if they need someone to guide them through it, that I'm here to help you every step of the way.